This summer, we're on a mission, and that mission is to show our little Texas family some of the most epic mountains that Colorado has to offer. So we're hitting pause on our DIY projects for the summer, packing up the magical minivan, and driving far beyond the flat landscapes that we're used to seeing, and traveling over 2,000 miles on an epic road trip to Colorado. This trip has been full of planned and unplanned adventures, but best of all, we've been blowing our kids' minds.
What y'all think about that trail?
That was awesome. That was my favorite trail that we've ever been on.
So welcome to the Summer Adventure Series.
Before we get started, we want to say thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. I'm excited about today's sponsor because I feel like therapy is one of those things that people are sometimes hesitant to talk about, but it can be so helpful for so many people. I know for us personally, there have been times when therapy was so helpful when we just felt stuck or needed help working through something that felt overwhelming. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible, and this is an important mission because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to the options in your area. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easier because it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in as little as a few days. It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. There's a link in the description below, or you can go to betterhelp.com/DIYwife, and right now using our link will get you 10% off your first month so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. And if you find that you don't really fit with a therapist, which can be a common thing with therapy, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost and without stressing about insurance, who's in your network, or anything like that. So if you're struggling or just feeling stuck, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in the description below or go to betterhelp.com/DIYwife. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video.
It's hard to believe it, but after traveling over 2,000 miles through Colorado, this is our final day here. And so after saying goodbye to one of the coolest Airbnbs ever, we got on the road and headed east of Pagosa Springs for one last Colorado adventure.
All right, so we are headed to do one last hike in Colorado, but it should be a pretty spectacular one because it's to see a waterfall. It has great ratings. It'll be nice and short, so I think it'll be fun for everybody, and we're excited. Hopefully it's not too muddy.
And as usual, the views from our window didn't disappoint.
Man, I know I sound like a broken record, but every drive is just so beautiful. It's so pleasant.
So after a short drive, now we just had to find a parking spot.
Let's see if we can find us a spot here.
Is that a spot?
This is Treasure Falls, located about 15 miles east of Pagosa Springs. And not only is this 100-foot waterfall incredible, the views around it are breathtaking. So after finally finding a parking spot and getting everybody geared up, we were ready to hit the trail. And although this trail is only about half a mile round trip, you're basically climbing straight uphill and eventually it gets wet. But if you have a bunch of young kids like we do, they take this as a personal challenge and they eat this kind of trail up. We were making great time up the trail until the pokey little puppies struck again.
Hey.
Stopping and smelling the roses.
But this trail wasn't as easy as we anticipated it would be.
Short and simple. Let's do one last easy hike. Like, thank goodness I have good shoes on because I'm like holding him with both hands and he's sliding.
We crossed the bridge right in front of the falls, which meant that we were getting really close to the base of the falls. But what we didn't anticipate was the last stretch of trail would be the muddiest and most difficult. But finally, we made it to the base of the beautiful Treasure Falls. But what goes up must come down, and if you thought going up a mountain is hard, well, try going down.
Now we just got to get down. So hard to show how steep this is.
And the further down the trail we went, the more slipping and sliding we had to do.
I'm sliding. So Mom's taking 2 of the boys back to the car on the easy route, while I'm taking a few with me, and we are going the extreme route. Extreme!
But of course, on the way down, our 8-year-old who loves the water couldn't pass up an opportunity to take a primitive trail that led you right up close to the falls.
Dude, that's amazing, dude. Look at it. Yeah, buddy. It's in the mountains, baby.
Can we do it again?
Again? You serious? Sit down. So steep. Nice. The boot scooting boogie. Yeah, boy. So I think our ideal trail is some mix of beautiful scenery and kind of extreme terrain. Kind of like that sort of thing. And this trail is definitely hitting the nail on the head. So if you like this kind of thing, then take the primitive trail. But if you're just looking to see the falls, get a nice easy hike, then take the trailhead on the other side.
And somewhere along the way, we realized we'd made a wrong turn.
So we're currently backtracking somewhere along the way. We took a wrong turn. Yeah, at least the weather's beautiful and the scenery is beautiful. Oh, it's so steep. If I want to keep up, I literally have to like jog downhill on this trail. Oh my gosh.
But finally, we rejoined the other group near the bottom of the hill.
Hey, it's Mom.
Wait, so you got?
And with that, we had finished our final hike in Colorado, and so we loaded up into the world's dirtiest minivan.
That was so cool.
And so as we got onto the road, we realized it was time to say goodbye to Colorado.
So today we are leaving Pagosa Springs and we are heading to Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is our last stop before heading home.
And Colorado bid us farewell with, of course, a few more spectacular views.
It's kind of crazy as you leave Colorado and come into New Mexico, you can see things flatten out a little bit, but it's still really beautiful.
And after we entered into New Mexico, the drive felt even longer as we were looking at long straight roads and we had more than 100 miles to go. But I think New Mexico sensed that we were bored and it started to show off some of its own unique features. One of those features was the Echo Amphitheater, and this place was just too cool. From there, we drove through some incredible rock formations that actually reminded us a lot of Palo Duro Canyon back in our first stop in Texas. But eventually, we left the rock formations behind and the road stretched on, leading to some tired travelers.
Help us out.
No way. But finally, after what felt like forever, we made our way into Santa Fe, New Mexico. Our last lodging of this trip would prove to be the most unique.
We're out here in the desert, man.
But to get there, we had to drive quite a ways outside of town. And wouldn't you guess it, onto another dirt road.
We're on a dirt road again. Oh my god.
How is that possible?
How is this possible?
Every single Airbnb we've stayed at was on a dirt road. How did that happen?
Wait, did we pass it? No, I think we're gonna have to turn around.
We were closing in on our Airbnb, but we couldn't quite get to
How do we get to it?
Mom, we're going the wrong way.
We're going the wrong way again.
We're actually
Apparently.
just gonna park and we're gonna walk through the trees. That's what we're gonna do. Keep going.
Oh, there's the sign.
But finally, we made it to Home Sweet Home, and if it looks like we're in a rail yard, well, that's because we are.
Let's ride this train.
Because tonight, we would be sleeping in a train car.
Come on. Let's ride this train. Now I
Whoa.
We can eat outside. It's actually really nice out. Look how long it is. That's
Yeah, it's
I'm
so
kind of
long.
full of
It's
it.
crazy. So as you can see, compared to our minivan, this train is quite long.
Oh, I guess we go in the other side. Is it door though? Watch your fingers.
Daddy! Awesome.
Looks like there's some glass stuff, so be careful. Alright, welcome to the Hamilton. This is our next Airbnb, and this is what you walk into when you walk in the end door. I guess this is the main living room. They've actually added a TV. We've got some outlets that work. This sofa folds down into a really narrow twin bed. It's just crazy. I mean, it's an old train car. I have to admit, I was not looking forward to this one as much. I think this is at the end of our trip, but now that we're here, I'm like, this is actually really cool, and our kids are all really excited. So next you walk into this hallway, and there are all these like old swing doors. I'm pretty sure the Hamilton was built in 1923, so 100 years ago, which is crazy. So bedroom number 1 has 2 twin beds, and this thing is supposed to fold down. We haven't done this yet. I found the key where they said it would be. Oh, sounded like it worked. Oh my gosh, oh that's heavy. And then these hook somewhere as a safety net for whoever's sleeping up high. Bedroom number 1 also has its own little bathroom.
Looky here.
And the bathrooms are so crazy. Look at this. It's like, I could like go to the bathroom and wash my hands. The shower's pretty big in this one. There's another one that has a really small little corner shower. But that's crazy. That's great that there's a bathroom in here. And it even has its own little closet. Okay, so let's go back out into the hall. And I think we have another bedroom next. This is narrow. I feel like I need to walk like this. Alright, bedroom number 2 has what I think is a full-size bed. And it has its own bathroom. There's a little toilet over here, a little mini sink over here, and a shower, which looks fine. I mean, I'll take it. I'm not having to walk outside to go to the bathroom, so. So we also have a phone in case we need to call for room service. Do you remember how to use this kind of telephone? Our kids probably don't even know what this is. Throughout this whole space, you also have like, I mean, it looks like original carpet. I don't really know if this is the 100-year-old carpet, but it sure does look like it. So I appreciate that they at least tried to keep it original. And then even like the rugs that they added, I don't feel like they take away from just how cool this is. It's so crazy. Okay, and next we'll continue down the hall through another swinging door to the dining car. And then another bathroom here. This one has a teeny tiny little corner shower. That's pretty cool. And then around the corner, we're actually in the dining car now, which has dining table, a whole buffet area with dishes, games, and we haven't pulled these down yet, so hopefully this goes smoothly. These look heavy. Okay, it's not too bad. I just discovered a little office area, so if we need to send some emails. Okay, that's enough emails for the day. Okay, and then finally past the dining room through another swinging door, we have the kitchen. So this is the first side of the kitchen. There's actually 2 sides to it. So I don't really know what this is. We're gonna call this the coffee nook side of it, because you've got your coffee and tea set up, coffee mugs, and the kids, I thought this was so cool. Our kids thought it was so awesome. There's like a little room for chess and checkers. It's missing a lot of pieces, but you know, they're creative. They use some of the extra. Next, we're gonna go into the other side of the kitchen, which I guess this is probably the official kitchen side. This is cool. You have to come see this. There's a refrigerator. Look at this. Whoa. And then I love how all the cabinets, of course, because this is a train car, slide or have locks on them. And so we've got pots and pans. Oh, there's even a microwave.
This microwave is actually original to the train car back in 1923.
There's also a little cutting board that pulls out if you need a little more prep space. Lastly, I'm going to show you the little outdoor seating area, which is back at the entrance of the train car. Last, we have this little deck that's obviously been added on, but it's a nice touch for an Airbnb. We've got a fire pit, plenty of seating, a grill. It's just a nice, comfy outdoor space.
So that's it for the tour of this train car, and now we're gonna go into Santa Fe to experience the Santa Fe life and grab some dinner.
We made the 20-minute drive into Santa Fe to see what it was all about, and the first thing that caught our attention is that the architecture here truly is unique to Santa Fe. But after a long day of travel, you can only look at so many buildings before you want to gnaw your own arm off, and so we went on a hunt for some authentic Santa Fe Mexican food.
Alright, so restaurant 1 was a no-go. It was a 2 to 2.5 hour wait, so we're moving on to spot number 2.
Restaurant attempt number 2 was going better, but once again, we couldn't seem to find where to park.
We are having some trouble finding the parking lot. Okay, this is looking promising. There's a spot! We made it! Look how clean that minivan is.
Once we finally stumbled our way inside, we had to do a bit of waiting. But that's okay, because we made the most of it.
Ole! Ole! Ole!
We came to this restaurant because as Texans, we love Mexican food. And so we were excited to try out some authentic Santa Fe style Mexican food and see how it compares to what we eat back in Texas. And here's some of the main differences that we noticed. Their salsa has a bit more kick to it than ours.
It's definitely spicy.
Their tortillas are as big as your head, and their standard enchilada plate tastes very similar to Tex-Mex. But instead of rolling up the tortilla, they actually put 2 tortillas on top of each other to make the enchilada. And the last interesting fact came from our 6-year-old, and it was completely news to us.
Do they?
And we also learned about sopapillas that, well, they're just dang good wherever you go.
So if you've never had a sopapilla, it's like a puffy, sweet Mexican bread, and you put honey in it. It's really good. But beware, this gets very messy.
All in all, we had a great dinner, and we got a little taste of Santa Fe, New Mexico.
And the pokey little puppy bringing up the rear. That was good.
I'm so full. I unbuttoned my pants.
And finally, in the car together, we made one last Mexican food discovery.
There's another tooth coming on.
We are literally doomed tonight. Everybody's blowing it up. It's bad. We've got windows down.
So with beautiful views and rank smells, we made our way back to our Airbnb for the night.
What did the train car say after he ate Mexican food?
Don't you dare.
Toot toot!
I thought you were gonna rip a big one.
The next morning we woke up and it kind of felt surreal to be staying here.
It's kind of a funny reality to wake up in a train car, because you wake up and you're like, where am I again? And you start looking around and you're like, wait, what? I'm in a train car. Morning.
Our kids have been playing hide and seek since about 5:45.
Ay.
I'm tired. How good you sleep in that little bed?
You know, I've slept better, but it's an experience.
If we look a little haggard today, you know why. We're tired.
Our kids were enjoying breakfast on the dining car. And I don't know what it is about this train, maybe it's all the old memorabilia, but it really brought out my English accent.
Breakfast on the train, sleeping on the train, Eggo waffle on the train, my daughter on the train.
And after a relaxing morning, we were ready to pack up and say goodbye to the train.
So we're all getting packed up and loaded up, carrying our stuff out to the car here. But we're gonna pack everybody up and then head into town and see a bit more Santa Fe. Yes, it's perfect.
Yeah, here, bud. Get
All right, say goodbye to the train.
Bye, train.
And thankfully, heading into Santa Fe for the day, the weather was definitely on our side. And not only was the weather on our side, but once again, perfect timing was on our side.
All right, we are walking to the Santa Fe Farmers Market, and I'm so excited because they're only open Saturday and Tuesdays, and I really didn't think there was a chance that we would be here when they were open, but they are. It's Tuesday.
The Santa Fe Farmers Market features locally grown vegetables, fruits, and more. But more than just locally grown foods, there's an entire artisan section where you can purchase unique arts and goods, all made by local artists. There was lots of unique local artwork, leather goods, home decor items, and of course, all kinds of handmade jewelry. As we kept looking around at all the really cool things here, we felt like this was a special opportunity, and so we told our kids that they could each get one thing from the market. So the kids got something that interested them. Andrea was taken by some items that may not surprise you.
Always a sucker for a coffee mug.
And even something caught my eye.
Now that's what I'm talking about right there.
But one of the coolest parts about this market is that the creator of these goods is standing right there in the booth, and you can actually talk to them, and they were very hands-on in showing our kids even how they make some of their artwork.
There, so there's that. Show up. Whole thing now. Ta-da, there you go. Touching the ball, okay?
Look, it's a possum riding in a car.
Mount it onto it, and here's your spoon. Yeah, maybe get pulling a print.
So finally, after the full farmer's market experience, and after picking up a few pastries for the road, we were ready to hit the road.
Wait a minute. I want some of that.
And after the farmer's market, we had one more place we wanted to visit in Santa Fe.
Well, the farmer's market was a hit. We have some pretty artistic peeps in our family, so we enjoyed that side of it. Plus there's fresh foods, we've got some baked goods, and we came away with some pretty stellar memorabilia.
As you all know very well, Andrea is a designer and she loves great architecture. And so she was super excited to take the family to downtown Santa Fe to experience the unique architecture that Santa Fe has to
All
offer.
right, we are in downtown Santa Fe just to see all the beautiful architecture in the old buildings before leaving town.
And after walking for a while, we decided to find a place to sit, like a really unique place to sit.
Now there's a statue Levi could love.
And then we decided to go around and pet all the little doggies we could find. And then, after some tree climbing and more walking, we decided to finish things up with a trip to the chocolate store.
Yeah, I should get like some of the good. Probably fine. So here, what's
After we finished in Santa Fe, it was hard to believe, but it was actually time to load up and drive back home to Texas. On this road trip, we had driven over 2,000 miles to 6 stops, over a dozen unique locations, and it gave us memories that we'll never forget. Like our kids seeing mountains with their very own eyes for the first time. And seeing the animals that come with the mountains. And we'll never forget memories like walking over the US's highest bridge, or driving the US's fourth most dangerous road and seeing Andrea absolutely lose her marbles.
I think I'm gonna barf.
We'll remember incredible hikes like Tunnel Drive Trail, Bridal Veil Falls Trail and Telluride, hiking the most remote trail we've ever seen, and of course hiking the majestic Black Canyon. We'll also remember all the rivers. We drove by beautiful rivers, we stood under beautiful rivers, heck, we even rode in some beautiful rivers. And who can forget some of the places we stayed, like in a remote cabin deep in the woods looking at Pikes Peak, or staying in a yurt, or staying in a train car. And in every place we saw views, unbelievable views that our family will never forget. And most of all, we'll never forget that Mexican food leads to, well, you know.
Everybody's blowing it up. It's bad.
So we hope you've enjoyed coming along for the ride as we took our biggest summer adventure ever. And now that the summer's over, it's time to get back into our DIY projects. And we've got a really exciting house project coming up. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.